Weather agencies under fire after failing to warn of Texas floods. Okay, so check this out. This is catastrophic, and I don't know if you have the clips of what happens with it. I don't know what word to use, Rob. I mean, this is devastating, scary. You know, the story of one father breaks his arm, is bleeding to save his family, and he's telling his family, you guys go, I'm bleeding too much. I'm not going to be taken care of just to save them. So let me read the stats. Do we have it in here or not? National Weather Agency Service faced criticism for the delayed floods warning in Texas, where the Guadalupe River surged nearly 30 feet. That's 3 stories, killing at least 50 people, including 15 children with the residents. That's July 6th. I don't know what the exact update is today, Rob. I think that number is changed.
Addendum page 2 at the top. Texas flood death toll tops 100.
Oh, my God.
As of last night, 100 have passed away, 28 children, 27 campers and staff.
You got to be kidding me. Okay, so that number's...
and there's still 30 some odd missing.
This will be a rough week, and we need your prayers. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick acknowledged flood warning sirens along the Guadalupe River that have saved lives but was not installed due to cost concerns. Rescue efforts face challenges with ongoing flash flood risk, as the National Weather Service warned any storm that moves across the extremely vulnerable region will rapidly cause flash flooding, predicting 2 to 3 inches of rain per hour on Monday night, with up to 10 inches possible in some areas. Chris Boyer, Executive Director of National Association for Search and Rescue. You've got to get these folks quick, but with floods, you don't typically find a lot of people alive. Rob, go ahead and play this clip here.
Any of this have to do with Doge cuts?
Absolutely not. The National Weather Service did a stellar job. 2 days before, I read a lot of discussions coming out of the Weather Service. We have very talented people that are working at these Weather Services office. And 2 days before they were outlining it, they issued the flash flood watch 12 hours in advance, the warning 3 hours in advance. Contrast that to the Estes Park flood back in '76 in Colorado that killed 144 people. Same kind of channeling of water with stalling thunderstorms. The first flood warning was not issued till 3 or 4 hours after the flood was going on. So that's absolutely, they were all ready for it. They understood their duty. And a lot of the guys that work in these Weather Service offices, they look at themselves the same way as people, that are in the Army, that they're trying to, help their country. And they did a great job with this, but how do you get that warning out at 1:30 or 2 in the morning? And you got to understand, folks, this area of Texas, from Del Rio to west of the Metroplex, is known as the Flash Flood Alley. Okay, Kerr County, 1987, July 16th, had the same thing. The Guadalupe River went out of control. Medina, Texas, a dying tropical storm, dumped 48 inches of rain. Then the next day went up to Shackelford County and dumped 30 inches of rain. Your daughter goes to A&M. I grew up down there. My dad went there. I can remember Tropical Storm Abby came in '64. The darn Brazos River was a mile wide. That's how fast the water comes up in Texas. And it's any mountainous area, this will happen. We had it here in Pennsylvania, Johnstown flood, July of '77, 12 to 16 inches of rain in a 6-hour period and broke all the dams around Johnstown.
Yes, I have here's the Guadalupe River as it overflows. So it takes about 37 minutes, this entire video, but they fast forward it. You can see the water starting to rush.
Crazy this is.
So this is where it begins, and then I'm going to fast forward real quick.
Go for it.
And look to what it gets to.
Oh, my God. It's like a tsunami.
Keep going.
And it gets even harder. Look, I mean, it starts overtaking the bridge.
Jeez, bro.
Does it get worse than that?
A little
you
bit.
get stuck in that, you're done.
Oh, well, yeah. Where you go? You're finished.
They just start showing the debris starts piling up near the bridge, and it starts sending water over the bridge as well.
God, bro.
Okay, Tom, your thoughts on this?
So this is horrifying as a weather event, and you just have to take the warning seriously. And unfortunately, I read a lot about people that says, these warnings used to happen like every other day in this area, and sometimes you don't take them seriously. And those campers, it was at night. It was 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. where the campers, where phones were going off, and sometimes just tempted to go, oh yeah, another flood warning. And it's clear that in these camping areas, apparently they didn't take it seriously, wake everybody up and just go out to high ground. And it's that simple. High ground is only a couple miles away, and it's that simple, and they didn't do it. And I think the alarms and the warnings with the people that I've read that are upset with the Weather Service and saying maybe they happen too often. You're doing too good of a job, and it kind of numbed everybody, like the boy who calls wolf. And this came between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., as I understand it. And by the time you got much later than that, you were in trouble. Because once it started, they said at 45 minutes, I think it said 27 feet and 46 minutes was the Guadalupe River at that area where the camps were. And they're right. Once you're in, it's gory and it's terrible, but it's not like you put on a life preserver. You're moving at high speed and you are being rammed into things and you are being hit by tree debris. And so people that drowned often drowned unconscious. It's just, there's no safe way out once this wall of water with all the debris in it happens. And so my assessment was the phones went off, gang, and there's a lot of people that didn't pay heed to that. But it also happened at 2 to 4 a.m. So you got to pop out of bed, get going, get those kids in the trucks, and get out of there.
I mean, there's some very strange tweets made by some people. Vinny, I don't know if you saw some of these tweets.
Yeah, like this is Christina.
The cloud
May all
seeding?
visitors, children, non-MAGA voters, and pets be safe and dry. Kirk County MAGA voted to gut FEMA. They deny climate change. May they get what they voted for. Bless their hearts.
May I,
go ahead, Robbie.
real quick, this is Caroline Levitt dismissing that narrative.
Democrat elected officials are trying to turn this into a political game, and it is not. This is a national tragedy, and the administration is treating it as such. We know the National Weather Service provided early and consistent warnings. They gave out timely flash flood alerts. There were record-breaking lead times in the lead up to this catastrophe. There is ongoing flood monitoring, and these offices were well staffed. In fact, one of the offices was actually overstaffed. They had more people than they need. So any claim to the contrary is completely false, and it's just sad that people are pushing these lies.
No one's talking about, and you can find it. You can find it on X, of the groups of people and trucks and everything. No one is talking about how many people got out that are at this mall parking lot that said, yeah, we were rolling at 3 a.m. We heard this and we came up here, and now they're telling us you can't even go back there. So we're stuck here for a couple days.
Yep.
And there's all those people. Where do they come from?
Yeah.
They got the warnings and they heeded the warnings and they got out. And so no one wants to talk about all the people that got out. Now, in the face of tragedy, loss is first and foremost the thing to worry about. But you know what happened is happened late at night. That's what happened. Yeah. If there was even an inkling to what was coming, and this is 9 a.m, I don't think the death toll is here. I think it happened so late at night, but a ton of people got out and got in their trucks, and those are the people that are in there saying, we don't think our cabin's there. We don't think our place is there. We were down here visiting. We don't think our vacation thing is here. I unhooked. The guy that says, I unhooked the RV, everybody got in the pickup. He had a fifth wheel called big trailer in the back. I unhooked it and we left. I don't think it's there.
Yep.
What? Where?
Yeah, exactly.
Where I left because I got the warning.
Yep, exactly. And in these moments,
What's that, Rob?
Okay.
This is CBS News reporting on a U.S. Navy, Coast Guard. His name's Scott Ruskin. Saved 165 people in the flood.
Let me see this.
As the Guadalupe River surged in Texas on the 4th of July, U.S. Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin, who is from New Jersey, and his team flying through severe weather to get to Camp Mystic, where hundreds were trapped. On the ground, Ruskin, who was on his first mission out of Air Station Corpus Christi, finding himself setting up triage and comforting many girls at the camp.
It was pretty traumatic. I mean, you have a lot of kids. They're having probably the worst day of their life. They're missing friends, they're missing loved ones, they don't know where they are.
The 26-year-old who was sworn into the U.S. Coast Guard while at Rider University during the height of COVID, then rescuing 165 flood victims with the help of the Air National Guard.
They were in need of airlift. There was no other way to get them out. Bridges were gone, roadways were gone, and the water was coming up too high for boat rescue.
Man. Thank you for your service, buddy.
Oh, Scott
Frickin'
Ruskin,
A.
bro.
Are you kidding
Gangster.
me?
And look at this. And in these moments of tragedy, and our hearts and our prayers go out to all the freaking kids that have deceased, the men, everybody that's gone. You have guys like this stepping up and doing their thing, and it goes to show you. I mean, I don't know his political stance, but notice how the left and these Democrats respond in moments of tragedy. Like during the Biden administration, guys, when girls were getting raped and murdered, we criticized the Biden administration because of people like Mayorkas and all them letting them in. When this type of natural disaster happens, this is when you see the true colors of the Democrat. And when we say they're the party of violence and they're the party of evil, they have no freaking souls. Did you see what Rosie O'Donnell, the sick, miserable woman, went on said? She tried to blame Trump for what happened.
Find a way to blame him. Find a way to blame
him.
him. Playbook page 1.
What a horror story in Texas. The flash floods in Texas. The Guadalupe River. 51 missing. 51 dead, more missing. Children at a camp. And you know, when the president guts all of the early warning systems
Lies.
and the
Didn't
weathering
happen.
forecast abilities
Lie.
of the government.
Lie.
These are the results that we're going to start to see on a daily basis because he's put this country in so much danger by his horrible decisions and this ridiculously immoral bill that he just signed into law.
I think she looks great.
By the way, and think about
she
this.
looks incredible.
Yeah, she looks
Best
great.
she's ever looked.
Just like, what's her name? Kathy Griffin, Rob. You should find out a picture of her.
What's his name again?
Kids are dying in Texas, and her first thing, this miserable human being you are, Rosie O'Donnell, you're going to blame Trump, not the storm. Okay, you moved across the freaking, you left this country and you went to Ireland. Stay there. And nobody wants to hear your stupid ass opinion. Okay, they're not just floods, Rosie. They're funerals. Did you hear that guy? Little kids that have the worst moment of their freaking lives watching their friends die in front of them. Probably their mom or whoever die in front of them. And she wants to, you know what she says? Let me go in front of let me go tweet a stupid video. And by the way, she's saying that this big, beautiful bill did all this time. It's all a lie. Okay, the bill was about immigration enforcement, asylum reform, and border security. It has nothing to do with early flood warning systems. All right, it doesn't slash NOAA funding, and it doesn't shut down weather stations. Okay, it doesn't even touch FEMA. It's not even in the same category. Okay, girls are dead, and she's a freaking psycho. By the way, this is what this is what happens when you go for Trump invade your mind and your body and your soul. You turn into this person. That's Kathy Griffin, the one that had Trump's head chopped off. And I don't even, Pat, I just want to show you, this girl cusses a lot, so I kind of want to give them a heads up. You want to talk about evil? This girl says that little girls died because of racism, and look at the evil in her. And she says you reap what you sow. You want to see? Have you seen this one?
Let me see a little.
Okay, just look a bit.
Is this the aid to Houston?
Y'all scary as fuck, and I don't give a damn.
Look at her eyes.
Them little girls, them people died because of racism, not politics. Boom, I said it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't even want to
oh
listen
my,
to this kind of
disgusting.
stuff. Yeah.
Disgusting human beings,
Adam,
Matt.
give final thoughts. So we can
Yeah,
get to
look, I'll just try to make some sense of this. Look, there's God-made natural disasters, and then there's man-made disasters. Every single one of the situations that happen in America is a combination of both. And it just, how do you sort of, where does it fall in the spectrum? So for instance, Hurricane Katrina, God-made disaster. But what happened with the levees? What happened with the LA fires just a handful of months ago, right? Was that God-made? Was that man-made? Now that we're seeing the Texas floods.
What do you mean God-made?
Natural disasters.
It's a natural disaster. Well, God's not up there making natural disaster. He allowed some broken world to spin.
Okay, maybe you're taking what I'm saying literally, but
I don't want
hurricanes, earthquakes. These aren't, man doesn't cause these. Natural disaster caused these.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that God is pulling the strings and want this, but these are natural disasters. Yes.
Yes, I don't want people to think that you're saying the other.
I don't think anybody interpreted like that, but thank you, Tom.
You don't read the comments.
The reality is this: something like this has happened in Texas before, in the 80s. I want to say
yes, 87. I actually have a video of that.
Okay, so maybe we can play that. But it's almost like fool me once, right? Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Texas should have been better prepared for this. Now people want to blame Trump. Okay, I think the governor Abbott bears responsibility here. 25 feet of flooding. It's the greatest flooding I think they've ever seen since in the 80s. There was a lack of warning systems. There was a lack of escape routes. There's missiles that are flying in Israel every single day. The entire country basically has missile warnings. Get to shelter. How do they not have this in rural area in Texas? Flood warnings, any sort of device, mechanism to basically alert people. So not all floods are going to happen at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. It happened at 1 a.m. on July 4th, I want to say. So you can't predict the timing. What about escape routes? What's going to also, there's planning, there's budgeting, there's staff, there's questions of underfunding. The same questions that we asked in LA, the same questions that should be asked in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to have the accountability. I will tell you, though, when stuff like this is tragic. The governor should take inventory and audit, see what's going on. Forget the nasty comments. This one right here, what the person made. Pediatrician fired right after the comments she made. What they voted for, that's what they got, the non-MAGA voters.
Unbelievable.
That's going to be happening. It's very nasty. You learn about people's profiles of where they're at. But the reality of it is, by the way, she got fired, just so you know.
Good.
They didn't do anything like that. She got fired. But Texas should find a way to address this. We lived in Texas for 5 years. And, Tom, you lived in a place where the second floor, the pipes blew up and your bed fell on your daughter's bed. And God willing, thank God, nobody was in the house on that day when you remember the cold weather when the pipes were blowing up and all over Texas. It was
all the pipes froze.
We had an
Was
event.
spraying for an hour.
You remember TJ had an event at the Gaylord that they were freezing in the hotel room. Do you remember that Zoom that we were doing?
Yep.
And they're all cold there. The lemon box that we launched, okay, this campaign that we launched with the messages, Rob, if you can go to it. I absolutely love the stories that we're getting, the testimonies that we're getting, Rob. Okay, the Zested Forward. That you open it up with a video being played with the hat and the merch being in it. And it's a heartfelt message to people that are going through tough times today. If you haven't yet sent this to anybody, listen, I challenge you. I encourage you. Send it to someone. See their reaction. Here's some of the notes we got recently from 3 people that have been using the lemon box. Here's somebody named Patrick, phenomenal name. Hi, guys. I gave it to my wife as part of her Mother's Day gift. She's a national sales manager for a yacht company and found it to be very encouraging. She teared up when she received it, and I'm sure she will open the box again and listen to it over and over and over again. Thank you. Rob, if you can go to the next one. Here's something from Karen. The recipient loved the lemon box with the hat and video. It was just what she needed to pull her out of a bad time. Thanks for such creative ways we can express love and encouragement to people who need just a bit of recognition. And then the next one here, we have a Magnia. Bought these boxes for my son, bought this box for my son who was going through some hard times. When he got it, called me crying because he said it was exactly what he needed and thought this gift was the most thoughtful thing he had received. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade is a simple message and a great message for so many. PBD's message in the box was awesome. Loved it. So if you got somebody that's going through things, folks, job, career, family, marriage, personal life, go to vtmerch.com, zest it forward, send it to somebody. Sometimes we love getting stuff for ourselves, but sometimes you just want to make somebody else's day. You can't wait for them to message you and tell you how grateful they are for that. And on top of that, ladies, you've been asking about it, and my wife, some other ladies, Kim, others been saying, Pat, we need some sports gear for the ladies. So here's what we have now as well that's officially launched on vtmerch.com. Go for it, Rob. So make sure the golf cart doesn't come with the purchase.
Okay, Taylor. Alicia. Natalia, Lay. We got some fit ladies that work here, people.
We got a gym.
I'm a little offended that you guys didn't ask me to be in it. I could have worn a wig.
No, we're not doing that. We want real ladies is what we want, not the one you dress up to be sometimes, Vinny. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. When you do, you will receive a VT, I love VT keychain. Gang, we know most of our listeners are men, and we know most men, what we tend to do is we tend to procrastinate. The ladies will buy gifts for you. Guys, go buy some gear for your wife, for your girlfriend, for your loved ones, and send it to them. Surprise them. Go to vtmerch.com. Make someone's day today.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.